So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw pulled in by Robinson here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And he's got this down to the 35. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Mahomes. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. A really nice knockdown. He has so much pressure in these situations on defensive backs. What are they taught?
Play the ball, not the man. Because if you have a pass interference penalty in this spot, boy, oh boy, you put your team in a bad place.
Oh, Hill, great grab. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first, and it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. The touchdown all set up by the big play 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. For a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. Peoples-Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Mayfield. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mayfield. He'll take a shot here for Hooper downfield. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Mayfield to throw. Fighting through pressure, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Here's Baker. And he'll take a shot here for Hooper downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Peoples-Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this. Overtime in week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Throwing, Mayfield. And that nearly picked off. Oh, that would have been a big INT here in overtime. Instead, they'll get another shot on 3rd down. What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. He's going to look deep now for Landry. Oh, and that's so close to being intercepted. That could have been a big turnover in overtime if he had held on. Instead, though, it is still 4th down. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. Mayfield looks to throw. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a sigh of relief on that sideline right now, because that was a tricky call to go for it here in OT, but they got it.
I think it tells us about the mindset of them, though. They decided that they had to go ahead and win the game right now. Didn't want to turn the ball over, give them any other opportunities. One time, one shot, keep the ball, and they went for it and got it.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 39-yard line. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. 2nd and 6. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 127 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And they'll get this down to the 10.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. On the ground, it's Chubb. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, breaking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
And like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. The kick by Parkey is good. So they do get the short field goal here to get them the all-important overtime lead. But, Charles, you wonder if they'll wind up ruining the fact that they were able to get down into the red zone, yet not able to find the touchdown that would have won them the game.
Brandon, you're absolutely right. In overtime, when you get the ball first, the hope is your opponents never see the football. But now they're going to get a drive to try and win it, or at least keep the game alive with a field goal. And I'm getting a dictionary out to look up ruin.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point as well.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked by the rookie Greg Newsom. And that's how this one ends in dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Browns, they needed overtime to do it, but they get the Week 1 victory thanks to the field goal. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens.